Hello! Welcome back and I hope na may natutunan kayo din sa previous video ko and alam ninyo yung mga motivations ninyo bakit kayo nagsiswitch to freelancing or virtual assistant career and at least na-select na ninyo yung inyong top 3 reasons or motivations kung bakit kayo nagsiswitch to virtual assistant. Kasi very important na meron kayong clear motivation. Alam niyo kung ano yung nagmo-motivate sa inyo kung bakit kayo nagsiswitch to virtual assistant. Kasi whenever you encounter any setbacks or any challenges throughout this journey to switching to virtual assistant, you can just grab that list that you got or that you have and then at least nasa mental note na ninyo na, oh, ito yung motivation ko. Kasi yan yung magiging driving force ninyo kung bakit kayo nag-switch to virtual assistant para ma-avoid ninyo yung any frustrations or wala kayong dapat sisihin sa sarili ninyo or sa taong mga nakapaligid sa inyo na nag-influence sa inyo kung bakit kayo nag-switch into virtual assistant in case lang naman na hindi kayo mag-succeed. And again, the purpose of this course is to help you succeed. I-open ko kayo sa realidad ng pagiging virtual assistant and then matulungan ko kayo to equip yourself ng mga dapat ninyong gawin and mga steps-by-step na guide para kayo ay to help you succeed sa pagiging virtual assistant. And again guys, just in case you are not aware, marami po akong kinreate na toolkit na magagamit ninyo to start your virtual assistant career, and those toolkits are very helpful if you are going to just listen, watch those videos. Kasi guys, napaka-importante po ninyo yun. And napaka-importante nun. Huwag kayong magmadali sa pagiging virtual assistant. Darating din kayo dyan. Ang kailangan natin ay preparation and execution. And then we are on our second step ng ating preparation, right? So kaya ginawa ko yung mga toolkit na yun is para i-guide kayo kung ano yung mga dapat ninyong gawin. And then kung may mga questions kayo na during this course, hindi ko matakel, malay ninyo nandun yun dun sa mga toolkit na kinreate ko para sa inyo. And again, those are free. Included na yun dito sa course na to. It's my mission to help out my fellow Filipino how to succeed to become a virtual assistant. Kasi marami kong nakilala na interview ng mga applicants, they wanted to become a virtual assistant pero they are not ready. And it's really sad na makita mo na they are very qualified but again, may something na hindi po sila pwedeng ma-hire because they miss something. Kaya as a manager, recruitment manager, as a business owner ng outsourcing ng virtual assistant and also having partners with different companies na nag-outsource ng mga VA dito sa Pilipinas, ma-share ko sa inyo kung ano yung hinahanap namin as an employer, as a client, and as a customer. And again, as a virtual assistant myself, at least ma-impart ko sa inyo yung mga experiences ko para yung mga maling nagawa ko before, hindi nyo na maulit. At yung mga bagay na nag-succeed ako ay malay nyo, ma-enhance pa ninyo or ma-develop pa ninyo. So, now let's move forward with our lesson. And our lesson number 2 are the things that you should not be doing. So, it's important na alam ninyo yung mga bagay na you should not be doing kapag kayo ay nag-start pa lang inyong freelancing or virtual assistant career. And the number 1 on my list is don't be too excited. O bakit hindi natin kailangan maging excited? Well, as a human being, very, very common nating reaction kapag may naririnig tayong mga success stories from being admin assistant, nag-switch to virtual assistant, and then after a year, nakabili na ng kotse, nakabili na ng bahay, nakatayo na ng mga negosyo, and those are probably real. Kaya lang nga, yung story ni Beth ay hindi pwedeng maging story ni Lisa or hindi magiging story ni Ann kasi nga iba-iba tayo ng kapalaran. Depende yun sa strategy. Depende yun sa plan and execution na gagawin natin on how you will become a successful VA. So again, the goal of this course is to help you equip para alam niyo kung ano yung mga dapat ninyong gagawin para kayo ay maging successful virtual assistant. So number 1 natin na hindi natin dapat ginagawa is don't be too excited. So, ano ba yung mga factors na dapat natin i-consider bakit tayo hindi dapat nagiging too excited? So, isa sa mga reason kung bakit hindi tayo dapat maging excited is because we might overlook yung mga challenges. So, when we overlook yung mga challenges, ang tendency natin is we will just jump into decision na, okay, kapag nagkaroon lang kayo ng clients o may nag-offer lang kayo ng client, mag-accept na kagad kayo. Or kapag naman, halimbawa, naka 1 month or 2 let's say 2 weeks. Halimbawa, naka 2 weeks na kayo or 1 month na hindi pa kayo nakakuha ng clients, na demotivate na kayo and parang ayaw na ninyong magtuloy. So, kapag kayo naging excited, tumataas yung adrenaline natin and hindi na natin nakikita yung mga potential challenges na dapat is nagkakaroon tayo ng preparation kasi nga ang challenges can be be prevented. Maaaring hindi natin sila ma-avoid sometimes, but if you are equipped, if you are ready, kahit ano pa yung challenges na yan, you will be able to overcome them. Number 2 is kapag kayo ay excited, nagkakaroon kayo ng unrealistic expectation. Again, example ko nga is nakapanood kayo ng YouTube channel, success story from admin assistant into buying their own big house na. And then kapag kayo, nag-daydream na kayo na, okay, next month, ganito, or next year, ganito na din ako. So, kasi kapag ganun na nagkakaroon na kayo ng mga unrealistic expectation without planning and executing a good strategies, mahirap po yun kasi usually, yun yung nagiging reason kung bakit kayo nag-feel. Kasi you set too much or nagkakaroon kayo ng over-expectation, and then kapag hindi yun na-meet, maraming mga factor na aapektuhan ni income, family, and social, and then emotional. So, maraming mga factor. Kaya, don't be too excited. And then second is, don't set too much expectation. Kasi yan yung mga nagiging reason, nagiging mga factor na ma-overlook ninyo kapag kayo ay naging too excited. And number 3 is kapag excited kayo, you are making hasty decision. Kumbaga, basta nag-jump na lang kayo into virtual assistant, nag-resign kayo, tapos ayun, hindi nyo na alam kung ano yung gagawin ninyo, or basta nag-create na lang kayo ng CV ninyo, binasa ninyo yung job description, and then sinubmit na lang ninyo. So yung mga decision na gano'n, nagkakaroon kayo ng impulsive decision dahil sa excitement natin, kailangan ninyo mag-isip muna, like 100 or 1,000 times, na i-think through muna ninyo yung inyong specific situation before kayo mag-decide, especially when it comes to accepting contract or working with clients, or even just, thinking about or having yung some self-evaluation. So kapag nagsi-self-evaluate kayo, kapag may mga yung mga decision niyo sa pag-create ng inyong mga niche or services na i-offer, kapag kayo ay too excited, parang lahat you can do everything na, di ba? So imbes na nanarrow ninyo yung inyong mga services na i-offer, lahat na lang nilalagay ninyo doon sa inyong service. Like, I can do everything, I can do multitask, or I can be jack of all trades. So yun yung mga bagay na mga pwede nyo ma-risk kapag kayo ay nagiging too excited. And kapag kayo ay excited, so again, namimiss na ninyo or nagkakaroon na kayo ng lack of preparedness, namimiss na ninyo mag-prepare. Kasi excited na kayo, sige, gagawin ko lang itong CV ko, adjust ko lang to, top 10 ko na, nakakita lang ako ng advertisement or job advertisement, kailangan ng ganito, VA, accountant, ganito. So, eto na ako, ganito, inayos ko na yung CV ko, okay, pass. And then after a month, wala pa rin. Kasi nga, sobrang excited kayo na overlook ninyo yung yung proper preparation kapag kayo ay naghahanap ng clients or accept ng any contract as a virtual assistant. So, avoid natin yung pagiging too excited. Another factor na nagko-contribute kapag kayo ay too excited is yung potential burnout. Kasi lahat na lang naisip ko anong industries, mga services, and then kung ano na lang, basta kung ano yung pumasok sa isip ko, mga excited ako kasi excited akong i-create yung company ko. Pero nung nandun na ako, nag-start na ako ng mag-reach out sa client, and then I was talking to clients, hindi ako prepared. Hindi ako prepared kasi nga, marami kong na-overlook kasi because of my excitement, when I started to talk to the clients, I was unprepared. I was lacking information, and I wasn't able to answer some of my clients' question, and hindi talaga ako prepared. So yun yung iwasan natin kapag tayo ay overexcited. Second na hindi niyo dapat ginagawa, or the second thing that you should not be doing kapag kayo ay nag-start pa lang kayo mag-freelancing or virtual assistant is don't quit your job or don't just close your current business. Bakit? Kasi guys, ganito. Ang realidad ng virtual assistant, again, is we are freelancer, we are independent contractor, although the income is so promising, which is totoo naman. And then again, sabi ko nga, kung matyaga ka lang, within a year, makikita mo na kagad yung revenue is growing. Depends kung gaano ka kagaling maghanap ng clients at kung gaano mo may ima-market yung sarili mo. Pero again, bakit wag muna kayo quit ng trabaho ninyo just in case na meron kayong existing job or current job or may business, and then you are planning to become a virtual assistant. So ganito lang yon. If you are a freelancer or independent contractor, wala kang mga benefits. Makakuha man ka kagad ng client, pero again, they will not provide HMO. They will not provide yung government contribution. So, and then yung financial stability ninyo is at risk, very uncertain. So, kung magre-resign kayo kagad and then nagsisimula pa kayo maging virtual assistant, again, meron kayong financial uncertainties doon. Halimbawa, nag-resign na kayo kagad sa trabaho, pero yung dati ninyong trabaho, may HM kayo. And then suddenly, so syempre, hindi wala na kayong contribution, so invalid na yung inyong membership doon sa inyong HMO. Eh, paano kung halimbawa, during the time na naghahanap pa lang kayo ng clients ninyo, or nag-prepare pa lang kayo sa pagiging virtual assistant, eh, may something na nangyaring emergency let's say, sa anak mo or sa one of the members of the family. Then, ang tendency ninyong mangyayari niyan is, mangangapa kayo kasi nga wala na kayong HMO. So one of the downside nun is wala kayong HMO unless na mag-voluntary kayo. Pero again guys, we are talking about the virtual assistant starting from the scratch. Nagsisimula pa lang kayong maging virtual assistant. So again, don't resign or don't quit your job kasi nga unahin ninyo yung test the water first. Kumbaga, i-feel muna ninyo, mag-prepare muna kayo bago kayo mag-resign. I-prepare muna ninyo yung mga dapat gawin. And again, guys, sa susunod na mga videos, pag-uusapan natin yung mga dapat ninyong gagawin. And then, tutulungan ko kayo na ma-strategize natin kung paano ninyo gagawin yung pagiging successful. But again, second rule or second things that you should not do when you are starting virtual assistant career, do not resign. Do not quit your current job or your business kasi you have to think about your financial stability and uncertainties, especially if you are a family person. Yung mga benefits na nakukuha ninyo sa current job ninyo, hindi nyo kagad yun makukuha sa clients ninyo. Voluntary sa pag-contribute ng mga government contribution and then sa HMO, bibili ka ng sarili mong HMO or Medicard. So, isa yun sa mga rates. Pero kung nagtitipid ka at i-stop mo yung payment mo dun sa HMO kasi nga nag-resign ka, so malaking risk yun para sa family mo just in case may mga something happen, mga emergency. So, isa yun sa downside ng pagiging virtual assistant just in case na meron kang current trabaho. So, again, do not quit your current job. And then another reason kung bakit dapat wag ka munang mag-quit ng job is test the water first. Kumbaga, again, the goal of this course is to help you understand the reality of being a virtual assistant. So you don't want to just resign without knowing kung ano ba talaga yung pwede sa iyo or ano yung nakaabang sa iyo na opportunity sa pagiging virtual assistant. Kasi again guys, wala namang success na nangyayari overnight. It takes time. Again, kailangan ng proper preparation and then kapag prepare ka na, test the water. Try to have one client for 6 months first before ka mag-quit. And then if you think na okay naman, everything is going good and then hindi ka nag-struggle sa working from home alone and working at your own pace and then, managing your time and walang socialization, then you can resign if you think that it's worth resigning and switching from your current job to virtual assistant. Again, you don't have to resign. You can just take a part-time job first, like 1 to 2 hours or 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. Kapag dating mo ng trabaho, maghanap ka ng job na 8 p.m. to 12 midnight. Kasi ganun yung ginagawa ko dati. And then just to test the water, tingnan natin kung ano yung mangyayari. Kasi guys, kung kayo mag-jump into conclusion na lang at na too excited kayo, maraming risk ang mag-suffer kapag kayo nag-resign kagad. Another thing kung bakit wag muna kayo mag-resign is para ma-prepare na din yung sarili ninyo. Again, kapag nag-test kayo ng water, emotionally and physically, malalaman ninyo kung yung pagiging virtual assistant is the right fit for you. Kasi, again, kung mag-switch kayo from working from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. morning time, so hindi kayo puyat. Pero kapag nag-virtual assistant kayo, just in case nakakuha kayo ng graveyard shift, client na US time, and then magkakaroon kayo ng adjustment physically, emotionally. So, at least prepare kayo before kayo finally resign dun sa inyong clients. Kung test the water so that you will know if it will work for you physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and then financially, and everything else. Kaya may importante na do not quit your job just yet. And number 3 on my list that you should not be doing is don't get frustrated. That's why the VA helper is here, is to help you understand the reality of virtual assistant is kasi ang pagiging virtual assistant, it comprises of several challenges from initial phase up to the execution of your project and up to landing your first client and even nakakapag-provide na kayo ng inyong niche or services. There's a lot of challenges. Kaya nga sabi ko nga, may mga toolkit akong prepare para sa inyo. Those are free. Feel free to review, to learn those toolkits kasi guys, makakatulong sa inyo yun. And then everything else will follow kapag sinunod ninyo yun. This lesson to help you understand the reality of virtual assistant. And then yung mga toolkits na ginawa ko, again, free yun para matulungan ko kayo step by step kung paano yung mga strategy na gagawin ninyo. So, number 3 natin, what you should not be doing is don't get frustrated whenever you encounter any setbacks or challenges. Kasi again, sa pag-create pa lang ng portfolio or pag-learn ng mga technology, mga application na ginagamit, mga commonly used tools na pagiging virtual assistant, it takes time para malaman niyo and then it needs practice and then sometimes it's frustrating kasi it takes time. Pero again, hindi kasi ganun kadali ang pagiging virtual assistant. And then second is yung learning curve pa lang ninyo sa pag-transition ninyo to virtual assistant from corporate job or whatever. Kung hindi pa kayo sanay, di ba matagal lang kayong natenga sa bahay niyo dahil nagkaanak kayo, nagka-baby, tapos hindi kayo nag-work, and then matagal kayong na-stock yung knowledge ninyo. So yung learning curve ninyo doon, yung learning phase nun, sometimes it's frustrating. Again, yung learning, yung mga dapat niyo matutunan mga technology, and then keeping up to date sa mga sa mga nangyayari or sa mga, kung ano yung mga keeping yourself up to date sa mga issues about dun sa specific niche ninyo. Important din yon. And then, it's frustrating kapag ka talagang nagmamadali ka na, gusto mo nang kumita, next month gusto ko nang magkaroon ng trabaho. Hindi po katulad yan ng nag-apply ka ng trabaho, halimbawa sa isang company, nakakita ka ng advertisement sa jobstreet.com, nag-apply ka, in initial interview ka, and then tomorrow you can start. Hindi po ganun sa pagiging virtual assistant. And it takes time and it's very frustrating. And then, ano pa ba yung mga bagay na kakapag-frustrate kapag kayo ay nag-start na mag-virtual assistant? Again, competition. Kapag marami ninyong competition, lalo na kapag mga level ng age ninyo ay mga katulad ng level ng age ko na nasa mid-40s na kayo, sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm very behind when it comes to technology. Ang daming newbies na mga magagaling, mga techie people. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng mga worries about sa mga competition natin. And that's really frustrating. Kaya nga sabi ko nga, don't get frustrated, but you can do something. Kumbaga, kapag nag-interview ako as a recruitment manager, kapag nag-interview ako may dalawang candidates ako for the same position, young, and then isang nasa mga level ko, or sabihin na natin seasoned, I call them seasoned. So, ano yung distinction ko para sa kanila kung sino yung decision factor ko, or sa kanila kung sino yung i-hire ko? Unang-una, again, adaptability nila. Una, yung adaptability nila, and then second is yung kanilang passion about the things that they should be doing. And then third is the value that they can bring to the table. Hindi, kasi alam ko na mahirap i-compare yung value na mag-bring noong younger generation than the seasoned person. Kaya lang kasi guys, we all have something sa ating sarili na we can bring something to the organization or to the company. And then, ewan ko, basta sa akin as a recruitment manager, meron akong distinction. Alam ko kagad kung siguro I would say that's gut feel or instinct as a woman na rin, na sa psychology, na kapag nakausap mo isang tao na to, regardless kung ano yung age niya, pwede mo siyang hire, and that person can still bring value to the organization. And then yung ganun din yung bata pa lang na kahit wala siyang experience, I know that that person can bring value. Again, it's more about what you can bring to the table and your passion about the things that you do. And then again, kaya wag kayong ma-frustrate kasi kapag kayo ay nag-i-start pa lang ng freelancing or virtual assistant career, kasi isa nga sa factor ng frustration kapag nagsisimula kayo and then nag-discourage na kayo is yung competition. Again, don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to the version of yourself yesterday to today. Kumbaga, better yourself. And then one of the contributing factors sa ating pagiging frustrated is yung rejection. So, katulad rin naman ng recruitment sa corporate world, yung pag-recruit ng mga clients natin sa atin as a virtual assistant. So, we will go through different steps ng interview. So, meron tayong initial interview, second interview, sometimes panel. It's the same kasi they are selecting what you can bring to the table. Unless you have your agency just like me. But even if I have an agency, again, it goes the same process pa rin na you have to talk to the client, that you have to try to sell yourself. So again, kapag may mga rejection, it's very frustrating. So again, number 3 is don't get frustrated. Number 4 that you should not be doing, or things that you should not be doing, is don't stop learning and networking. Kasi guys, ang virtual assistant is more about networking and, continuous learning. So, kapag nag-stop kayo mag-learn, next month, the following month, mayroong mga new technologies dyan na ini-implement, AI and stuff like that. So, more on robotics na ngayon. And everything can be done easily using some automation tools. So, kapag kayo ay nag-stop mag-learn ng mga tools na yun, mabibehind kayo, and then nawawala kayo sa market ng ibang competition ninyo. And then again, katulad nga nung laging sinasabi ng husband ko, ang freelancing, or even in the business world, or even sa work, it's not about what you know, sabi niya ganun. It's also about who you know. Kaya it's important to network and then connect with people. Only connect with people who can bring value to you. Huwag kayong mag-connect sa mga people na downer na sabi nyo, ay, huwag ka na mag-virtual assistant kasi ang hirap ako nga, 3 taon na, hindi pa ako nakakakuha ng client. So, that's really not very positive. And then, hindi yun mag-provide sa inyo na encouraging motivation para kayo ay mag-continue as a virtual assistant. Again, every job, every work, and every situation in life encompasses different setbacks and challenges. It's up to you on how you're gonna deal with them. So, again, continue learning, and then continue networking, connect with people. Sometimes you have to read some books, and then sometimes you have to connect with different groups on social media. It's better to be updated that way. It's free na, marami mo pang matututunan. And then again, improve yourself, add values. Kumbaga, anything that can add value sa'yo that you can offer one day to your clients, add on services for your clients, why not? Do not stop learning. Just continue improving yourself, learn and enhance your skills, and eventually, you will be successful. And again, i-reiterate ko, ang pagiging virtual assistant is more on marketing and networking. So, hindi kayo dapat dun kayo nakafocus kasi yun yung magiging bread and butter ng inyong freelancing journey or virtual assistant journey. Kasi kapag nag-stop kayo mag-network, kasi again, it's not easy. It's not easy, pero again, it's up to your choice kung mag-take kayo ng one client lang, one premium client, or second is mag-set up kayo ng sarili ninyong agency. Again, it's up to you. But the initial things or the initial steps that you should be doing is improve yourself first, network, and then test the water. Huwag kayong basta-basta mag-create na ng agency and then wala pa kayong experience. I would just become a virtual assistant for one client and then gamayin ko lahat so that I can be an expert. And then once I know the rules and the processes, and then why not? Kung sa tingin niyo is mas magiging successful kayo kung magdadami kayo ng clients, go for it. Walang masama. Kung gusto niyo one client lang kasi gusto niyo i-prioritize yung inyong work-life balance, then just go ahead. As long as you are happy, there's nothing wrong on kung ano yung magiging decision ninyo. Now, the number 5 on my list, the things that you should not be doing kapag kayo ay nag-i-start pa lang sa inyong freelancing or virtual assistant journey is do not listen to other VAs on social media. Bakit? Kasi iba-iba tayo kasi ng definition ng success. Maaring yung success nung napanood ninyong sa VA na yon is happy na siya to cater for one client and then magre-render siya ng isang services kasi para sa kanya premium clients na yun. And that's okay. And then para sa kanya success na yun kasi dun sa success na yun, siguro yung salary niya from previous job niya is halimbawa 30,000. Ngayon yung premium clients niya nag-provide na sa kanya 100,000 a month, which nagre-render lang siya ng 4 to 6 hours a day. So, para sa kanya, may work-life balance siya nga. Pwede na siyang mag-shopping kasi ang expenses lang niya every month is 30,000. So, meron na siyang savings na 70K pang shopping and then for what other expenses pa nila sa family. And that's okay. And that's one of the things that becoming a virtual assistant can offer kapag kayo ay nag-succeed is the work-life balance. And again, it's up to you kung ano yung mga gagawin ninyo. Pero kung kayo ay makikinig sa mga virtual assistants dyan sa internet, again, magkakaroon kayo ng excitement and then unrealistic expectation. And again, maaaring yung stories nila ay hindi katulad ng magiging stories mo. And then magkakaroon ka ng frustration. It's okay to connect with them. Kumbaga, i-adapt ninyo yung mga good thing na ina-advise nila sa inyo. But again, hindi kayo pwedeng mag-rely lang dun sa mga information na binigay nila sa inyo. Kumbaga, take a balanced approach when it comes to the information that you will be getting or receiving from the social media or yung mga success stories ng mga VAs. Use your instinct. Kumbaga, if it's good to be true, maaring ang kinuwento lang nung nandun sa social media na yon or ng YouTuber na yon ay yung mga good thing pero hindi na niya sinabi yung mga challenges. And then I am here, the VA helper, to help you understand kung ano ba yung mga bagay na ninyong ma-encounter sa journey ninyo throughout the success of becoming a virtual assistant. Again, seek kayo ng information from social media, but again, use your own judgment and then take whatever good information that you can take, but again, don't rely just on them. And then again, use your own judgment. Explore kung ano may mga opportunities and mga information na makukuha ninyo. Sabihin ko nga sa inyo, know your motivation kasi huwag kayong basta-basta makikigaya lang sa iya na porque nagkaroon silang success stories sa pagiging virtual assistant is mag-expect na kayo na yun na kaagad talaga yung mangyayari sa inyo or similar kayo ng story. Again, yung story ni Linda, hindi maaaring maging story ni Beth or ibang-iba sa magiging story ni Beth. And syempre, iba din yung mangyayari sa inyo. And then, ang isa pa sa, ang isa pa sa downside ng pakikinig sa mga success stories sa social media is, or sa mga tutorial, is again, hindi sila tailored doon sa special skills mo or sa niche mo. Kaya nga, sometimes yung tools na tinuturo nila doon, kapag nag-land kayo ng project or ng new client, and then, napuprostrate kayo kasi yung napag-aralan ninyo, yung mga certification na nakuha ninyo online, ibang-iba doon sa ginagamit ni client na tools. And then, so useless yung mga ginamit ninyong tools, yung mga pinag-aralan niyo tools, spend kayo ng 3,000, 4,000 per lesson, for 6 hours, 2 hours, nag-spend kayo ng 100, 500 pesos. But at the end of the day, kung nakausap na kayo ni client at nag-land na kayo ng project, yung mga tools na ginagamit nila is ibang-iba dun sa tools na pinag-aralan ninyo. So, it's a waste of time and it's a waste of money. Maybe not, but again, ang social media, doon sa mga VAs na inaano is depends yun sa niche and sa inyong specialties and services na i-offer sa client. Again, as a recap dito sa lesson natin, 5 things that you should not be doing when you are starting your freelancing career. Number 1 is don't be too excited. Number 2 is don't quit your job. Number three is don't get frustrated. Number 4 is don't stop learning and networking. And number 5 is don't listen to social media or other VAs there. Alright, I hope that in this video you learned something. And now let's move forward to our next lesson, which we are going to talk about the things that we should be doing. Kasi tapos na tayo dun sa mga things that we should not be doing. Now let's move forward to the things that we should be doing. Alright, see you in my next video. Bye!